YouTube, that's Instagram, and that's TikTok at DMP Speaks. Now let's get into this conversation today. Let's go.
Well, hello, 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 everyone. How is everyone doing? Welcome to Speak Out Loud Radio on Fire 716 radio show. Listen, I'm glad to be back. I was out for a couple weeks just getting some self-care, but I am back in the studio on this afternoon, this wonderful Saturday afternoon. Listen, we were supposed to get all this snow that the meteorologist was talking about. I'm glad that we didn't get it. I think that blizzard was enough for me, and it was probably enough for you. But I'm glad that you all are doing well. Listen, if you don't know who I am, let me introduce myself properly. My name is David M. Pinkston, but I go by the name of DMP Speaks. I'm a motivational empowerment speaker. I'm a board certified Christian counselor, but I am a family restoration specialist, which means I come to rebuild your family dynamic. I come on here every Saturday at 2 p.m. live on the radio show and all my social media platforms. It's going to be a wonderful day. I hope that your family is doing well. I hope that you are doing well. And today's topic that I felt that was like near and dear to my heart today, I really said that this topic is going to be a beginning for a lot of families, a lot of individuals, just people in general. The topic today is forgiveness is necessary. I'll say that again. Forgiveness is necessary. I need you guys to do me a favor, as I always ask you, and you always do it. I need you to share this with someone, put this on your page, share this with your family member, share it with a friend, share if you care. So, we're going to jump into this conversation. And I really want you guys, I don't want to just talk at you. I want to talk with you. So I want you to call into the radio station today. If you have an opinion, you have a thought, I want you to call 716 299 0013. Again, that's 716 299 0013. No extension. I want you to talk to me today on this. Forgiveness is necessary. So sometimes we feel like forgiveness is not necessary, or we feel like it's not needed because of the pain that you might experience, because that pain is so deep, that pain is so unbearable. Some might say, why should I have, or why should I make the space? Why should I make the time for when a family member or a friend or somebody does me wrong? I know what you say because I've said it myself. When somebody has done me wrong, why should I forgive them? I know what the Bible says. I'm a churchgoer, but why should I forgive them? Because they've done me so dirty. They've talked and slandered my name. But we're going to talk about why forgiveness is so important. And I'm going to give you my feeling, if I can, if you allow me to. I believe that forgiveness is not only just necessary, but it's needed, everybody. See, we can go around and try to live our lives all the way that we want to. But when we don't forgive one another, if we don't really forgive each other, especially in our families, if we are not forgiving one another, if your sibling has said something, if your mom, your dad, your aunt, your uncle, whoever, if they have said something that was deep and it hurt you badly, you have all right to be angry, to be peed off, to be frustrated, to not even really want to deal with them, right? I can understand that, but not to forgive them. And I'm saying this too. I'm not saying when you forgive them that you're going to forget. I'll say it again. Even when you forgive them, I'm not saying that you're going to forget, because it's hard to do that, but you have to continue to work on that. And we'll talk about that in a few. See, your family is going to have constant disputes. Let me just take my time for a moment. You guys are going to have some constant disputes over and over. You're going to find some way. I'm not saying it's always going to happen every single day, but it is going to be a place or a time that you're going to argue with your family member. You're going to argue with your husband. You're going to argue with your children. Children are going to argue with you. It just happens like that. You're going to have a disagreement, right? You're going to become more frustrated. You're going to become more angry. You're going to become more exhausted. You're going, some of you ready to fight, ready to brawl, because that's just, so I won't even say it's your nature, but that's what you're norm to. Yes, what you're common to do, and agitated. But that doesn't mean that even when you're feeling like that, that doesn't mean that forgiveness can't come in your space of your mind and in your heart and your existence or in your family line. That doesn't mean that. But things do come up. It's very hard to forgive a family member. I've heard a lot of people tell me, it's good to talk about forgiveness, but what about the other person apologizing? Well, I said, well, and this is not even in my train of thought for today, but sometimes you're not really just forgiving that person that hurt you for them. You're forgiving that person for yourself. You got to be able to forgive yourself before you are looking for that other person to forgive or to forgive you. If you're the culprit, maybe you're the culprit, you have to do it for yourself. In both situations, you have to be able to forgive yourself, because once you forgive yourself first, not saying you're not taking the blame. If it's you take the blame, but you forgive yourself. If you're blaming yourself for it, right, because you did it, you got to release yourself from that and have a peace. And I'm going to say this, that surpasses your own particular understanding, because let's be honest, we're all human, so we all have our own particular understanding of things. See, I had to, and I'm an unbeliever. I had to really look at this, Frank, when it comes to unforgiveness, and forgiving. We have a certain way of how we look at it when we're supposed to forgive other people, right? But then, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna go back to practical ways, but God has a way that it might be a little strange to you or unfamiliar, but he's saying to forgive 70 times 7. You still got to forgive at the end of the day, because it's going to hold up your process. It's going to hold up your progress when you need, oh my God, when you need somebody to forgive you. If you're not quick to forgive someone else, it can be very hard when you need anybody in your life to forgive you. They might be slow and to forgive you. So you want to be able to make sure that you're doing that. So I'm just giving you something that's from my heart today. Okay. Again, it's hard to forgive family members because it's so deep, and it's because of the who said it, who said what they said to you, the way they said it to you, saying something about your existence, saying something about your children, saying something about you didn't amount to what they thought you were going to be. It can be very hurtful. That's a deep pain, because if somebody said that I'm fat, right, and it's somebody that I don't, let's keep it real, I really don't care about, it ain't gonna make a difference. But my wife telling me I'm fat, that thing hurt. I'm not saying that she did. She'll tell me that she told me that I need to go to the gym more. I mean, I can't help that because that's just something that I need to do, right? But it's different when it comes from somebody that you care about, that you respect, that you honor, that you admire. And a lot of times, a lot of our hardships, and the reason why we should be forgiven, a lot of the pain comes from our families, and that's a hard thing to swallow. So I'm not sitting up here and saying that it's all peachy keen, you're never going to have an issue ever again, because some of us, if we can be honest, we got some really tough family members. We got some children get on our dang on nerves, piss us off. Yes, I said it, piss us off. And maybe I shouldn't say it on radio, but it pisses us off because you want your child to be a certain way, you want them to act a certain way, and it's a they're going out and representing you and your family, and sometimes things happen. Let's just be honest. And I'll talk about myself. I grew up in church, but there are times that I did some sneaky stuff and I embarrassed my church. But not only did I embarrass my church, I embarrassed my family. And but I was so glad, and I talked about this on my little morning show this morning. I'm glad that my parents gave me some grace, right? You got to be able to give the same grace that was given to you to your family members. I know you don't want to hear this, and I know it's hard to take in, but this is where we got to go, because if we want our families to grow and not grow awkwardly, and if you don't want things to be in our way, we got to learn that forgiveness is necessary. I want to read you this quote. It's from Tyler Perry. He says, "Forgiveness. This is important in the families, especially, listen to this, especially when there are so many secrets that need to be healed. For the most part, every family's got them." Did you get that? I'm gonna read that again. Tyler Perry says, "Forgiveness, or to forgive. This is important in the families or in any family, especially when there are so many secrets that need to be healed. For the most part, every family's got them. Every family has them." He's telling the truth. Every family got some kind of secret that they don't want nobody else to know, right? Every family got some kind of situation that you go through. But one thing that I want to say is, at this point, one of the things that I have learned in my 38, almost 39 years on this earth, that if you cannot forgive, how do you expect your life to be the best that it can be when you can't even forgive somebody that has the same blood as you? I'll let that sit there for a moment. You understand what I'm saying? It is so important. If this person or that family member that did you wrong, right? They might have been in the right mind, or they got their own attitude, they got their own ways. I understand. But we got to be able to forgive. And this is a quote that I put together last night when I was just doing my study and getting ready for the radio show. I said, "Forgiveness is always better freely given, not forcefully shown." I'll say that again. Forgiveness is always better freely given, not forcefully shown. I don't want somebody to tell me that they sorry and they don't mean it. I don't want it. Because if you're really sincerely sorry, if you're sincerely forgiving, and your heart is open for forgiveness, and you want some reconciliation, people know when you're just saying stuff, and when people know when you're right, and you're in a good mindset to forgive. Sometimes people would just say that to forgive them, and they don't mean it. You gotta mean it. You gotta mean it. I want to ask you a couple questions. Can you forgive that family member that overlooked you? Can you forgive that family member that lied to you? Can you forgive that family member that stole from you? Can you forgive that family member when you were in need and they know that they could help you, but they didn't? Can you forgive them? Oh, I'm hitting you with a little heavy stuff tonight, or today, this afternoon, because forgiveness has many compartments that you have to be prepared for. And a lot of us are not prepared to forgive. And we got to be able to open our hearts up so that forgiveness can come in. Because let's be honest, a lot of us got a lot of things that we need to work on. But one of the biggest things is we got to learn how to forgive. And I said this earlier, I'm not saying that you have to forget. I'm not saying that you got to forget what they did to you, but you can't keep holding on to that unforgiveness. Because I'm gonna tell you the truth, the person that you're looking and been looking for them to apologize, guess what? They didn't put their lives on hold for you. I'm just gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you today. They're living their lives. They go on trips. They doing what they need to do, and you stuck. You don't have to be stuck anymore. That's not how you were designed. God didn't make you to be stuck. So when you forgive them for yourself, that frees you from that ought that they did against you, that problem that they had against you, the way they talked about you behind their back. That frees you. Forgiveness is forgiving beyond people's opinions. Can you forgive someone if they don't change? Seriously. Can you forgive someone that has treated you bad if they don't change? Can you forgive someone and they said that they were sorry, but they do it again? That means you just got to remove yourself, forgive them, and then literally remove yourself from them. If you're agreeing with this, if you're enjoying this, I need you on my social media platforms and elsewhere. Please, I want you to share this, but I also want you to give me some hearts. I want you to give me some kind of emojis so that I understand that you understand what I'm coming from. And it's a tough one to chew, but it's able to regurgitate it. You're able to take this in because we need this, and we need this in our families. Most of all, we need forgiveness to be freely given in our families. Families were always going to say something to you that's going to irritate you. They're always going to say something to you that's not the greatest to say at that particular time. But no matter what you hear these words. Forgiveness is for you to free you for whatever has been holding up your life, been holding up your progress, what's holding up these new businesses, what's holding up your true happiness. You got to be able to forgive, because you know what? And I'm learning this. I'm telling you, for the last 6 months, I've recognized, the last few years, I've recognized life is just too short. It's very short, everybody. It's too short for you and your family to continue to bicker, to fight against one another, to tear down each other when we're supposed to be building up each other. When are we going to start doing that? When are we going to start building up one another? Because we're really missing on. Can I be honest? Can I keep it real? We're missing on opportunities. We're missing on memories that we're supposed to be making with our family. You're gone. You're here today. You're gone tomorrow. What if that person that you couldn't forgive, God forbid, what if they leave this earth and you didn't have that opportunity to just call them and say, hey, cuz, we've been fighting for 2, 3, 4, 10 years. I just want to tell you, I'm sorry. I've been wanting to call you for a while. I've been wanting to see your family. I've been wanting to come and visit you, but I was selfish. Woo, that's a big one. I can't even get into that one like I want to, because sometimes we can be so selfish on both ends. I'm telling you, you got to free yourself and forgive, because it is necessary, everybody. You holding on to these grudges, you holding on to this bitterness, you holding on to this anger, and it's eating you up inside. It's unhealthy emotions. That emotions got to go somewhere. And you're putting it on your children, you're putting it on your spouse, you're putting it at people at work, you're putting it on people at a grocery store, because you just won't forgive. Huh? Oh, okay. Is it Julia? Okay, Julia says then stay in forgiveness. It's a constant work. Yes, it is. One thing can send you back to that place of hurt. It took me 5 years to get free, a lifetime of staying free. See, Julia, you in a good spot. You're in a very good spot. Did y'all hear what she said? Because sometimes people can take you there, but you do got to stay in forgiveness. I love that. Please. This is where I could go on. I might have to do, there's so many parts that I could do, but I want to stay on topic. Freedom from that, and not allowing anybody to make you go back to that place. People, whether you believe it or not, people have done me wrong recently. Somebody that I thought loved me and we were close, thought I did something, and no, God knows I didn't do it. but they were so stuck in their mind that I did it. I tried my hardest because when I say I'm your friend or I'm your brother or whatever, I'm that. There is nothing in between. If I'm saying I'm your brother for life until you are put down in that grave. And I tried my hardest to reconcile. And this person just and called me a name. I said, wait, what? And said it on social media. Then what? But wouldn't publicly apologize. Try to privately apologize. And I said, wow. So these were your intentions. You thought I did something, know that I didn't, and you want to apologize when I confronted you. But my point is, it's not to tear her down, it's not to tear me down. The point is, I forgave that person for myself so that I wouldn't have animosity when I see them on social media, when I see them in person. So whenever that person is ready to talk, I'm ready to talk. But I can't hold up my life. I can't put a pause on my life because they're not ready to forgive or they're not being open to forgive. As long as I have opened the door to talk, as long as I have opened that door for future conversations, that's what's going to be the determining factor. Not on me because I've done my part, and sometimes you got to just do your part. You hear what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? To do your part to forgive that person, because whatever they're dealing with, whatever that person is dealing with, that has nothing to do with you. You got to do your particular part. I want to just give you 3 things on why forgiveness is necessary. But I want to pause again. If you have a comment, I know we have some comments on social media right now. If you want to call in 716 299 0013. Again, 716 299 0013. We got a few more minutes. Listen, I believe in the power of forgiveness. And I do believe in the power of forgiveness for families. You have some siblings right now. You haven't talked to your sibling in a while. And let's be honest, you've been thinking about them. You've been wondering what they've been doing. You guys were close at one time. You had a fight. It got ugly. But you still miss them because that's your blood and you love them. I'm telling you this for a reason. Can I say this, Frank? My sister is gone. My sister is not coming back to this world. And I'm telling you, if we had an alt, thank God we didn't. But if we had an alt and she's gone now, bro, I would be distraught. When I tell you on her deathbed before she could stop talking, I told her I loved her. I'm just gonna keep it real. I had tears in my eyes. I told her thank you for being like a second mother to me. I said we bickered and we fought, but I said those things didn't really matter. As I grew up with her. She's 10 years older than me. I said I don't even know how I would have been able to develop if it wasn't for you. And she spoke as much as she could at that time. We hugged each other, we kissed each other, and after that we were laughing and talking because that's how our relationship has been. Even when we had disagreements and we got in fights, I would quickly say, sis, big sis, I'm sorry. And I'm not saying everybody got to be like me. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I was quick to say, I'm sorry. You know why? Because I want to keep that relationship more than money, more than in houses and cars. I need to keep that relationship with my sister because she meant that much to me. And I'm saying this for a reason. You got some siblings, you got some family members, you got your mom. I don't know why I'm saying this. There's somebody on that's watching today. You haven't talked to your mom in about 6 to 7 months. And because you haven't talked to them, you've been wanting to talk to them, but they hurt you so bad they don't said some things that you were not pleased of, right? But you want to talk to them. I'm just saying to you, give them a call today. Don't text. Don't go on Facebook. Call them. If your conversation is 10 minutes, let it be 10 minutes. Talk to them. Talk to your mom. Tell her how you feel, but at the end of that conversation, tell her, Mom, I love you and I forgive you. I forgive you for what you said, but I want our relationship back. Even if we don't talk every day, I need that relationship back. And the reason why I'm pausing, because some of you are just thinking, what should I do? It's hard, but all you got to do is just make a step. All you have to do is just make a step. So I'm going to end here. I'm going to keep this information. I'm going to come back to this another day. But let me say this. Let me say this as we kind of close. I know this was a lot for you, many of you, because you want to forgive, but the pain is so deep that people will never really understand. And I get that, and I respect that. But I want you to know, when it comes to your family, sometimes that's all you have. Sometimes that's all you have. If you are looking to reconcile your relationship with your family, you're reconciling because there's an empty void and you need your family to be in your life, slowly but surely, but you need that. If you're bickering with your child, or your child is bickering with you, or something happened and you haven't really forgiven them for what they have done, or child, you haven't forgiven your father, you haven't forgiven your mom, I want you to reach out to me. I want you to go to my social media pages. You can go to DMP Speaks on TikTok. You can go to I am DMP Speaks on TikTok. DMP Speaks on Instagram. DMP Speaks on Facebook, all over YouTube. But I want you to reach out to me. I want you to reach out to me. And if you're on my social media pages right now, I want you to click on the link in my bio, and I want you to sign up for your free 30-minute consultation call, because this is not going to just happen overnight, but you need somebody that's going to be patient with you, going to give you the results that you need, and most of all, going to rebuild your family dynamic, because that's what I'm all about. I'm here for you. Listen, I hear you, bro. I hear you, sis. But forgiveness is definitely necessary. You can do it. I believe in you, and I believe in your family. Let's be the best family that you can be. Let's go get it, y'all. This is DMP Speaks coming to you. I am a board certified Christian counselor. I'm also a life coach. I am a family restoration specialist. I help build, rebuild, and grow your family. Maybe you're having some communication problems. Maybe you guys are just yelling and screaming and you guys are just not getting along. And if you want access to me for your 30-minute consultation call, follow me on all my social media platforms. TikTok, Facebook at DMP Speaks. And if you go to YouTube and Instagram, it's at I am DMP Speaks. Download Fire 716 and click the link.
Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Dante Miles, aka D Belly, aka your city councilman. I'm here at Fire 716 Radio, and I'm asking you to tune in on Thursdays at 11 on our show, The Vault. We're going to be having some conversations that's super relevant, but very important. And sometimes it may be a little uncomfortable, but we're going to make sure that we get our voices out. Come tune in on Thursdays at 11 a.m. and make sure you download the Fire 716 app. See you then.
What's up, everybody? It's Kier here, Inject Faith Hope Love. I am so excited to announce that you can now catch me right here on Fire 716 Radio each and every Monday for Inject Mondays at 7 p.m. So go ahead and download the app and rock out with your girl. Again, that's each and every Monday at 7 p.m. Tune in and have a good time with us.